Hello everyone, this is Aeroica, and thank you for stopping by for another video. As you can deduce from the title, this will be my last video related to the Dungeon Boss game. Instead of simply halting video production or fading off onto some other game, I felt you deserved a more personal note and to know the reason why. However, before I begin, I want you to know that I tell you this information not as a means of persuading you to leave the game as well, but rather just so you understand what has happened so you can make a more informed decision about what you want to do going forward. So the recent update to the Dungeon Boss game, specifically the modifications to the portal, has rendered hardcore progress virtually impossible without a large amount of monetary investment. Now, it's not lost on me that every company on the planet is out to make money. That's what they do. They capitalize on some form of product or service that the customer base wants, and we buy it. However, the price point of that product or service has to remain reasonable to the demographic that they're targeting, and the customer has to have a reasonable perception of value for what they spend their money on. It's a very delicate balance that needs to be cautiously monitored and adjusted so that the company remains profitable and the customer base can still see value in what that company provides, and thus we still buy it. It's pretty much basic economics. Well, with this update released by Dungeon Boss, they have significantly increased their cost of their game components. And from my perspective, they've evaporated any sense of value that was in place related to buying roles for heroes. So, unlike other freemium games where buying in-game currency can get you a specific item or upgrade you want, Dungeon Boss only lets you buy chances at getting what you want. This system is kind of like gambling. However, prior to the update, you could at least take some solace in knowing that the more you invested and maxed out your heroes, the more return you would get down the road, and the easier they'd be obtained. So once you got your heroes to a 6-star level, they would fall off the loot table, and thus the odds of getting tokens for the other heroes you needed would increase the more you spent money and continue to buy more buy more roles for the portals. Well, with all heroes now remaining in the loot tables regardless of their star rating, the odds of getting tokens for the heroes you want or are trying to upgrade are seriously not in your favor. So let's take a quick look as an example of the VIP portal, just so you can see what I'm talking about, because it's a little more simple to illustrate it that way. So the VIP portal reduces the loot table to 4 heroes, but it doesn't offer any of the unlock packages like the heroic portals, meaning you're not going to see those big 25 token, jumps that you see when you roll them in the regular heroic portal. So in this quick little screenshot here, you'll see that Viperia, Phenol, Julius, and Bovis are in the current loot table for the VIP. And in my hero roster, I already have 6-starred all of these heroes except Viperia. So let's say I want to spend some money to get her to a 6-star level. So I'm VIP 10, I buy the best value of gems, which is 12,920 gems for $100, and I take advantage of that VIP 10 status. So these 12,920 gems are then divided by 400, which is the gem cost for a single VIP roll. That's 32.3 rolls. We'll just reduce that down to 32. So again, that's $100 for 32 rolls. The chest will contain an average of 11 tokens per chest, roughly. Not always, but typically. And I'm looking at a loot table that has 3 heroes in it that I could not possibly care less about, right? All right, so what are the odds that all of my 32 rolls are just going to luckily land on Viperia? Well, there's no way that's going to happen. Even at the best of odds, let's just say I have a 1 in 4 chance. They may even be worse than this, because who really knows what percentages are plugged into the algorithms in the background. They could even have something to say that we're going to divide them completely unevenly. Let's say the game recognizes that you have 3 of those heroes at a 6-star, and maybe they put some crazy advantages on those particular heroes, but the one that you're missing, the one you actually want, might only be at 10% or 5%. Who knows what they actually are? I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they've done it evenly. So we'll say even at the best odds of a 1 in 4 chance of getting a chest with their token in it, that's going to cost you $100 for 88 tokens. And so I arrive at this because we have 32 rolls. And if I divide that by 4, which is the number of heroes in the loot table, that equals 8. And then 8 times out of those 32 rolls is a chest that's going to show up with more than likely 11 tokens in that chest. So 8 times 11 is 88. And that's where I came up with that number. So in order for you to go from a 3-star hero to a 4-star hero, that's 100 tokens. Going from 4 to 5 is 150. and from 5 to 6 is 250. So that's a total of 500 tokens. Well, 88 goes into 500 5.6 times, and $99.99 times 5.6 times is $559 to 6-star that Viperia. And that's with you only having to contend with a loot table that only has 4 heroes in it. So now think about what that's going to be like with a heroic portal loot table, which has a whopping 17 heroes in it. Even with a chance for a 25 token occurrence, the odds are so terrible that you're going to get a hero that you actually want or need. You could easily spend thousands of dollars and never see that come to fruition. So yeah, you're going to get Aether, Evos, Keys, and Gold, but those are really inconsequential because at the end of the day, what you're after is tokens, and we all know that. So it's for this reason that I'm leaving the game. I have absolutely no problem paying money for a game, and I don't have any issue with working for progress so long as it's balanced and fair and the reward meets the effort. But now I know that there will be a few that are just going to say this is a huge QQ session, and others that will see what I'm talking about, and that's good. I hope the game stays around, and I hope that it maintains some level of player base, at least until they realize how bad this is. But personally, I don't ever think they will. They'll count on something called price acclamation, which is going to work for them. And the best way to example that is something that happened with the gas prices in the United States. We had the gas prices jump up to over $3 and everybody freaked out and bicycle sales went up and everybody was going to buy a motorcycle and so forth. And now we look at gas prices and it's like, oh, gas is $2.75 a gallon. That's cool. It's a discount. We better go fill up. So we've just become used to that price, and that's what's going to happen here. And besides that, Bill Jackson, the chief creative officer for Boss Fight Entertainment, clearly stated in his forum post that this is the way things are going to be and how it was always intended. And I used to work in the corporate world, so I know that unless someone higher up becomes seriously dissatisfied with his performance and the bottom line profits, he's not going anywhere, and thus the game's not going to change and we'll be stuck with the game as it is now. Well, except for me, because I'm leaving the game and spending my time and money elsewhere. And that's the awesome part about a free economy. There's always competitors with similar products that know how to do things at least a little more right than the last guy. But make no mistake, I mean, I love this game so much that I actually started, for the first time ever in my whole life, a YouTube channel dedicated to this game. And it takes a lot of time. I mean, every 10 minutes of video is a culmination of at least 10 hours of work from start to finish. And I did that for no other return but just to draw new fans to the game, help veteran players by giving them an edge to pursue endgame content, and I believe I accomplished that. And now, because I feel so strongly about this change in the system, I'm going to give it all up, and I'll try another game that's I think is worthy of my time and money. So over the last few weeks, I've seen, since the update, numerous amounts of people unhappy with the change, and it's really disheartening to say the least. I left one of the top guilds in the game, Gensakyo, today at the end of the tournament. They've been really good to me, and there have been really some super intelligent players, really great PvP experts, and just some all-around awesome people that I really enjoyed working with. I was fortunate enough to be offered an officer position, and that was a great honor for me considering how large that guild family is. So to all of you, especially Inoku, thank you very much for the opportunity to serve you. And if any of you plan to continue to play the game, you should really check them out. There's more than likely a place for you in one of their many guilds, regardless of your hero power or level. When I say that, I really believe that's true. They've got quite a few places to fit people if necessary. So you should go check them out if you're looking for a really good quality guild to go to. One of my guildmates said to me, I thought this was really nice, a guy I've only talked to a handful of times. He paid me a great compliment yesterday when I told him I was leaving the game. He said to make sure you set your account aside because the game is better with you for sure. And honestly, that made all of the work I just mentioned really completely worth it. And I want to thank you for saying that. And that brings me to you guys, my current 706 subscribers. I cannot thank you enough for all your support over the last 8 months. This was a time when I only had 18 subscribers for almost 2 months, and then little by little, with the support of my longtime subscribers like Atom, Reskar, and Detective Choco, the channel grew to where it is today. It's more than I ever expected, and I honestly would get excited to check every day just to see how those subscriber numbers had climbed up little by little. And I want to thank you. I mean, it's what makes it all worth it. So I want to thank you so much for being part of this game with me, and I hope you enjoyed my Dungeon Boss content. You guys are all super fantastic, and I really appreciate it. It's been great. I hope in the future I get a comment notification telling me the portals are back the way that they should be, and if that's ever the case, you can rest assured that I'll be firing up the video and audio editing software, getting my account back online, and making new videos out there right away. And when I do, I hope I'll see you at that next video.